Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics and DC Comics and much more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby! Now, as we continue on from the new HBO Max series, The Last of Us, this is episode 5 review, and of course, this is a spoiler. So, if you have not seen the show, please pause this, give me a thumbs up because that would help my channel grow. It will, expand to other people who may discover Great Talk and Entertainment. So, if you do that, I appreciate that. Go watch that show and then come back and check out my review. And I would love to hear your guys' opinions on what you guys think of this show or each and every episode. I would love to hear it. So definitely put them in the comments below. So again, this is a spoiler. You've been warned. Let's get into it. This episode shows us the story of Henry and his little brother Sam. Henry is considered a rat, a snitch, collateral. For the reason Henry was giving up Kathleen's slain brother, Michael, the beloved leader of Kansas City, resistance to the group to Fedra, Fedra, in exchange for treatment for his little brother Sam's leukemia. Now, the plot of this is really awesome, and it really sets the tone of how dark and gritty this episode's going to be, and the biggest outcome out of the ending of this whole episode was mind-blowing, very shocking, and it really shows you how things are now in this world, how people are making choices they would never imagine doing in their life, but with the fungus affection going on, it really changed how the world is. Now, Henry just wanted Sam out of Kansas City just to be safe and somewhat live a better life and just try to something new, a new chapter, and just try to survive in this crazy world that they're living in. But Kathleen could not be a good leader, and with her beef with Henry, it really drove her and made her more weak because she acts like she never wanted to be the leader, but the people just wanted her to be the one because they somewhat liked her and they feel safe with her, and it seems like her choices and views of how she runs places seem very suitable for them. But when she explained, like when she was in this bedroom and she explained to her father, not her father, but to the guy that is like her right hand man, that when she was a kid or whatnot, instead of saying this, her bedroom was just like a big box to protect you, and it was very sentimental and it meant a lot. So she was going off by her emotions, and it showed a lot of weakness, and it just seems like the people of Kansas City purposely chose to ignore those because they really trust her. And her right hand man said, man, Michael was great, but you're the one that made the big changes. You're the one that made this place better. But it just shows to her that that's not what she really wanted to do, and she's forced to do what she thinks she has to do. In which this was a result of her death by these more involved fungus affected people that seems to become more of a sci-fi during this episode, like unrealistic, but not like where I don't care if it's like that, but I'm just saying it's more sci-fi, like a little bit of this episode and the last other 4 episodes, it seemed like more on grounds. It seems like it was more, they showed people who were affected, but it was never really into a high sci-fi like Alien Predator, but it did go that route in a way in this episode, and it was really intense. It kept me on my edge of the seat just to watch all that. It was just nuts. And seeing that big creature was a game changer, and that big creature just literally was ripping heads, and that's because whatever was going on that Kathleen did, she knew that this was gonna happen. She knew that, like, part of Kansas City, the ground was collapsing. Like, for example, in the last episode, there was a room where the floor was collapsing, and it was just there. Now, Henry claims from his resource that it was empty. There wasn't a lot of people there, but you see that there was people who were living in there underground, like having a school, having like a little township. But it seems like they failed and got infected. Now, what does that big giant creature do? I have no idea. Like, what would involve that? Is that like, I mean, I can think of like Andre the Giant, but I don't think they have an Andre the Giant in this show that can be affected by the fungus. But it was very vicious and savage, and they even had a little girl, which I forget the girl's the actual girl and who was dressed up as a creature. She's an actual gymnasius, and she's actually that flexible in real life. And I think that's really cool that they cast her to use her credibility for that, because that little creature really got Kathleen, and she was small and quick and very agile. Like, again, they're just showing us now that there's like different types of people who are infected. Some are quick, some are now giant, and some are very small and easy to get you a lot quicker. Uh, and then we see that Sam was infected, and it took a whole turn where Henry had to shoot him just because, obviously, Ellie tried to, put her blood into Sam because her blood is supposedly the cure, and that's what they're thinking now. And it didn't work. Obviously, just cutting your hand and giving a little blood was not gonna change him or keep Sam normal. But Henry had to shoot him just to protect Ellie because Sam was affecting and attacking Ellie. And again, this took it to a harsh, dark, gritty moment where, Henry took his own life away because Sam was his reason why he was trying to survive in that world. And now it's gone, which it took a big toll on Ellie and definitely Joel, because in that episode we see that, even though Joel and Ellie didn't know much about Henry and Sam, and when they're in that kindergarten classroom underground in the tunnels, Henry was, explaining to him, yeah, I'm the bad guy because I'm the villain because I did a bad guy thing. And, it really took Joel because, again, they're teasing Joel's younger brother, I think younger brother, Tommy, where there were some dark times for Joel where he made decisions or done things that you would consider him would be a villain or the bad guy. And he sees that with Henry because Henry made those choices to protect Sam. And we see how Joel is trying to protect Ellie from all this craziness and to get her to the place where maybe they can come up with a cure using Ellie's blood. And obviously that's the main goal of this whole story for those two characters. But obviously that never took the toll because Henry took his own life away because Sam wasn't there no more. And that just shows you the dark and grittiness of this and how realistic it is. So, again, this show took a different route. Like, if you watch any shows like The Walking Dead or Z Nation, something with zombies or post-apocalypse, something like this, a lot of the characters like Kathleen would have stayed longer, or Henry too. But this one is like, just like it seems like now they're going a route where these people don't survive. Like, no matter what their agenda or how they want to live, it's not going to last forever, and it's not a solid proof of protection. Because I know in my last review I said on episode 4 that shows that sometimes it's the people who are not infected yet are the most savage, crazy killer types because they're loose like a wild animal and they're just trying to survive, making these cliques or groups or taking over one town or one neighborhood and thinking that this is how they're going to protect their people, their family, their neighbors, or whatever, the city, right? Like, this is Kansas City. It's a much bigger thing, but this show is just showing us that no, these things don't last forever and we don't tend to keep them. So it definitely was different. Um, let's just, obviously, it just shows you that this is how they got to survive sometimes. But let's get into some topics. Henry and Sam. Now, I really like that story just a lot because it just showed a different side of like how people are trying to live, and it was very heartwarming to see like somebody like Sam, a little boy, get infected, and then Henry just took his own life away. That was crazy. That was a mind blowing thing for me to watch. Like, wow, it not when I say it got real, I'm not saying it's real, but I'm saying like, wow, like uh, this show is not giving you like those warm, fuzzy, happy endings like any other post-apocalypse surviving show. This is really down to, like I said, dark and grittiness to it, and I would say this was really fun to watch. It was really awesome. It was a great performance by both the actors, and using sign language too. Like, that was really neat. Ellie now. Let's talk about her. Like, now Ellie has a motivation. Now you kind of watch her kind of grow up in that small bit because she you see Sam and Ellie bonding, having fun, just being kids. But now in her mind, her like childhood's gone because she was kind of like becoming the big sister to Sam, and she feels like she failed Sam because she wrote "I'm sorry," and all she wanted to do was now protect Sam. And when we see Joel, bury those two, she was ready to go because now the death of Sam is her motivation to take this more serious and not be so childlike. And we're probably going to see a big, I think in the next episode we'll probably see a moment where Joel comforts her and Ellie just maybe bursts out in tears and cries because to see that happening, to see Sam get shot and then Henry take his own life away, it's very probably traumatizing to her and this character. So I think her now is she's, again, this is her motivation. This is what is going to drive her to keep pushing through. And we might not see very much of a sense of humor from her. And we'll probably see Joel trying to some way bring that back or get her go back to doing stuff like that. But it's going to be very interesting now. And like, look at Joel. Like, Joel is when he saw that, his reaction was like wow, what would I do? He's probably thinking like, would I do? He's probably asking himself, would he do that if he had to do that to Ellie? And it probably, yeah, I would say yes. Like, I think this is just an example of like, there's a lot of people, a lot of characters on this show so far, and just in 5 episodes, right? They all have one reason that they're choosing to stay on to live. Bill and Frank's story. Now we got the Henry and Sam story, the Joel and Tess story, with Ellie, of course. It just, they're finding reasons to want to survive and want to be heroic in a way and try to change the world. Like, Henry has given up. That's why he took his own life away at that heat of the moment. But it just shows you that it taught Joel that, okay, you got to be his mental health is on the line in a way with not just him but with everybody in the show, or characters I should say, in the series. So it's very interesting, and I thought that was really cool that they're using that type of storytelling in that. So definitely really really fun, a really great episode, really heartwarming episode. Like it was just neat. Like I just assumed that now they're gonna go back to like every time they go to the city, the next big bad leader is difficult or sabotaging them. But no, it took it on a different turn. Let's talk about the giant creature. Now, does this giant creature like have a plan? I would say no. Like at first I thought, because it was the one leading the other funguses, so it's kind of like the alpha male. Now, what caused it? Is that a human? Is that an animal? I do not know. Or a group of people just mashed up into one. I'm not sure, but it was very interesting, and I think that was cool. It took it to a more sci-fi moment where it's like you versus the alien, or you versus the zombie, the big bad evil creature zombie, right? Like it had one of those moments, and I thought that was really cool. And boy, he was ripping heads off and eating people. Like, but again, this one creature was leading a whole pack of other uh, affected people with the fungus. So I wonder how this fungus gets involves that much into a person's brain and gives it a new motivation to do what it does. But again, that was crazy. It left me speechless through the whole episode, seeing that one moment, because it got dark and gritty again with that. And it seems like now they're gonna bounce back and forth with two separate categories. Like they'll probably do an episode now with more about the people who are infective, and then maybe the next episode they may go back to just human society now in that show. But I could be wrong. I'm just guessing. But I really like the visual. I like the design of these creatures. I really like how it took it, and I just thought it was really cool. And it had, I like, what I like about this show is not everybody, they portray these people that they're not professional shooters, they're not professional killers. They were once parents, kids, regular people just working a job. Now they're trying to be hunters or good at shooting. It has that combination of it, and you see a lot of people fail, like that older guy who was trying to snipe people. He just could not, and he could say, "Keep missing, keep him missing." And Kathleen was like, just keep him in the stall till we get there." It's just one of those things. So definitely cool. If I had to give this show 1 out of 10, I'm definitely giving it 10. It was a great episode and really awesome. And obviously, they released it on Friday, just because, as I'm recording now, it is the Super Bowl day. So, yeah. But definitely a great episode, and I can't wait for next Sunday's episode. So, definitely a good show so far, and I really like this episode. It's not letting me down by any way necessary. So that's my review. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment Official Channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest contents. Thank you. Peace